All right, everybody, welcome to the Studying Brew, episode 832 on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday evening. Yeah, it's the first Wednesday of 2024. Oh, man, it is the second episode of the year. How are we doing, Brandy?
Good.
If you don't know who you are, my name is Andy. I am the guy that runs all the back office here, running them cool beats from the 70s. Yeah, my playlist was on point tonight. Thank you. I feel like it was. Anyways. But you're not here for my DJ skills. You're here for Brandy. She's got her Series 6, 63, 26, 65, and her Series 7, which makes her more than qualified to teach you all the things you need to know. That way you too could get a pass notice in 2024. And guys, let me tell you, we are working hard behind the scenes. We're down to one member session a day right now, as we are just working away on getting our Kona Academy up and going on Monday. If you haven't looked into it, please do. It is the time. You can literally go between self-study and guided, same price, same thing, get all the benefits. And, you know, if you have a hard time being disciplined to get on to learning the content, sometimes it's difficult to follow along on your own. And at least you'll have something to plug into Monday through Friday and help you get through it. Plus, you get a review, all that great stuff. So if you haven't joined up on with us, we want you to encourage you to do that. Now, look, this is what I don't want people to do. Now, this is the thing that happens every year at the beginning of every year, no matter what it is, whether it's the gym, studying, business, anything. Everybody gets fired up at the beginning of the year. And do you know the average? Do you know what the average New Year's resolution? Do you know how long it lasts for people? Do you know how long people keep those resolutions?
How long?
They are done by the first week. No more than 7 days. Most people quit by the 7 days. Like 90% of people quit their resolutions by only 7 days in. They're done. They're done. I mean, have you ever gone to a gym? It's like hacked like the first month or so, right? By February, it's all cleaned out. Like nobody cares anymore. Like, we don't need to lose weight no more. We don't need to get in shape no more. This stuff's hard. It's difficult. I sweat too much. Doctor says exercise no good for me. I've heard it all. It's true. You heard it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call anybody out, but I heard this person say it to me multiple times. I'm just saying, guys, you can make all the excuses in the world. You can make all the things, and everybody always has that resolution, January 1st, I'm going to change everything up, and then they fall off. I don't personally believe in resolutions at all. I don't believe in that whole New Year's resolution, new year, new me, because I feel like you could do that anytime. And I've had to do it many times in my life where I've had to like change up my lifestyle, my life decisions, the things I was doing that weren't good, or they were good, whatever it is. You just do it. Why not? Why do you wait? You're either going to do it or you're not, period. It doesn't matter if it's January. It don't matter if it's March. It don't matter if it's July or the middle of August. You're either going to do it or you're not. So my thing about it is, whether it's the beginning of the year or it's the middle of the year or the end of the year, just make a choice. Just make a decision, and then be completely dedicated and committed to you. Not to me, not to anybody, not your wife, not your husband, not your kids, not your, grandma, whoever, not your RVP, not your manager. Be committed to you. Keep your word to yourself. Do that.
Yeah.
And start off small. If you can have enough discipline to say no to a donut, you'll have enough discipline to say no to anything. I'm just saying, sometimes that is a difficult choice. You know what I mean? Sometimes that is the most difficult choice. And I feel you, but it's the same thing with studying. If you can say no to the distraction, you could do anything. It really is the hardest and most difficult possible thing you could do when it comes to studying and getting this done. So as you embark, some of you are starting this thing off, and some of you are like, finishing up your unfinished business of 2023, whatever it is, stay committed, dedicated, and just do it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make false promises to yourself. Don't make false promises to everyone. Don't make a big deal about it. You don't need to be posting on Instagram everywhere. Just get to work. Just get to work. And I know there's a popular thing right now. vision boards and meditating on stuff and having the clear vision and all this stuff like takes up about an hour to 2 hours of everybody's day, and cold plunges, all that great stuff. Look, that's all awesome. I'm not saying it ain't. But when it comes down to just getting a goal done, it is and always will be just putting in the work. Just putting in the work. It starts off as simple as just putting in the time on your calendar each and every single day, not waking up and not knowing how you're going to get it done, or leaving it to chance, or, the heavens above, or some sort of grand master plan of it all coming together for you and some divine intervention. It ain't going to happen. It just starts like this. You decide to sit down anywhere and just start. That's it. Just start. And then you just do that every day. Every day. Well, I only got an hour. You know what? Then do an hour. Quit messing around with it. Do an hour. If all you could do is an hour, do an hour. If you want to get it done quicker, you're going to have to put a little bit more time. Do I want you to do 6 hours a day? Heck no. 3 hours max, most of you should do a day. Really, honestly. You agree?
Yeah.
3 hours. People burn themselves out because they just start hard. They go hard in the paint like the first like few days. You ever seen anybody work out in the gym? They haven't been to the gym in a long time. They act like they're 18 and they're like 45. Like the first time they go to the gym, they acting like they're back in their football playing days. They just doing all the stuff, right? And the next day, what happens? They ain't waking up like they were 18 anymore. Heck no. They ain't waking up like they're 18. No, they're waking up like they're 45. Sore and barely moving. And they ain't going in the next day, right? Don't do that to yourself with studying. It's the same thing. You burn yourself out just the same way. And you ain't going to do it again. You're not going to go after it after a 6-hour session every single day. One, you're going to miss out on important things that you need to do. Like, I don't know, keep the lights on, pay the bills, get some extra business going, work on your side hustle, work on your first hustle, whatever you got going on, you still need to make that stuff happen. So, but I'm saying if you could carve out 1 to maybe 3 hours a day and keep that, you'll get it done. I promise you. I don't guarantee anything, but I promise you this. You have enough consistency to do that every day, you will get this thing done. I promise you that. I don't ever make stupid guarantees. I know there's a lot of study preps to make these crazy outlandish guarantees, like you're guaranteed to win, you're guaranteed to pass, you're guaranteed to put a stud in studying. I don't do any of that stuff. All I tell you is stay consistent. We'll give you the tools and we'll work this thing out together. So if you want to join in on with us on KonaButterflyz, whether you're going to do the self study because you got that going on, you got hustles, you got the discipline down, you're like, Andy, I can do it. We got the 21-day plan. If you want to start on with a guided program and you want to work with Brandy, only about an hour and a half every day, Monday through Friday, we got that for you now starting on Monday. Join in with us, scan the QR code. There's a way to pay for that membership on there. SIE 6 and 63. You get 3 exams for the price of 1. One comes with the study guides and tutoring. The other one doesn't. That's the difference between the two. Choose. Make it happen. Get on board. Join all the stuff we have. We don't just give you content. We give you techniques. We give you skill sets. We show you how to answer these questions. We had a great all exams test taking techniques and Q&A this morning. It was awesome. I joined in. I was providing laugh tracks. No. But I'm just telling you guys, we make it happen. We're showing you all the different ways in which you can apply the knowledge, get this thing done, and master exam taking, plus get the content. We have a review that we're going to be doing every month on a Saturday. All this stuff. Scan the QR code, hit the link in the chat, and if you're already on board, share with somebody. We do this for free. Share. Let people know that we got something new going on. Check us out. Phone number 951-290-3077. That's the text message, or to give me a call. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. We have study guides. We got the Kona community on Discord. We got a lot of stuff going on, guys. We're not like everybody else. And one of the main things that we want to do and make sure that whether you're on the free or the paid or whatever, it doesn't matter, that we're accessible and we can help you out. So join that Discord. We have the KonaButterflyz Instagram. If you want to check out my Hall of Fame, check out what our students say about what helped them pass. Everybody has a testimonial on there. You can see all the people who passed, how it worked for them. You can even ask them. Shoot, Telegram, reach. That's my quick bulletin board, and plus you can message me over there as well. And yeah, scan the QR code, hit the link. We got live session happening tomorrow. Oh, Kona Academy. Kona Academy. There you go. That's the nice little flyer. Go on to the next one, Brandy. What do we got?
Not that.
Oh, tomorrow, just as a reminder, we have test taking techniques and all questions, Q&A, all that stuff. This morning, I was like, yo, the only way this stuff works is if you guys ask questions or you get in there and you get involved and you get into it. You gotta get involved. You have to answer in the chat. You got to be involved in this thing, and that's how you test yourself. And Brandy's just working with you and just helping you out and getting this stuff understood. Post up questions on the Discord. We'll go over them tomorrow morning. Guys, join in if you're a member, and then we'll be back for the final Studying Brew of the week. And tomorrow night we will be having content and techniques for everybody for free, as always. But that's our schedule. And then Monday, it's a whole new world. My little Aladdin plug there.
Yeah.
We're going to get into Kona Academy. Check out our calendar. It's available in the link tree. That's by scanning the QR code and hitting the link. You can get onto my link tree. You can check out the schedule for the Kona Academy, see how it works for you, see how we have January all scheduled out. February is not quite all worked out. I just have January up. Trust me, guys, it's a lot of data entry. And Andy is not the fastest at typing. No, but I get it done. Anyways, there you go. All right, you ready to get after this?
Yeah.
For tonight, we got content.
That's right.
We got content. Some people are like, Andy, I wish you'd be quiet so Brandy could teach. Well, here it is. Here it's coming. Tonight, what is our topic for tonight, Brandy?
We are talking about investment returns.
Investment returns. Everybody likes a good return on an investment, right? That's why we invest. It's not just the fact that we like to tell our friends and family that we invest because it sounds cool and we get to drink our tea with pinkies out. No, it's because we want a return. We want to put some money in,
yeah,
and get a whole lot back.
Yeah.
That's the goal, right? Put a little bit of money in and get a whole lot back. Right?
Yep.
That's the goal.
Yep.
Does it happen every time? We're going to talk about that. Brandy's going to talk about it. And then we're going to do what? We're going to show you how it's tested and all that good stuff. So Brandy, let's get it down.
Yeah. So guys, I saw this question and I thought, this is a good topic, right? And if you guys look, because we're going to do answers first, right? We always do answers first.
Always.
It says short term and long term. So this is obviously time, right? This is time.
Look, if you haven't even studied yet, and I hope there is people on here that haven't even studied yet.
Yeah.
I want you to take note that we are just looking at common words.
Yes.
Common words. Don't make this stuff more difficult than it needs to be.
Yeah.
Time. That's it. Short term, long term. We know that, right? Yeah.
Exactly. We have gains and we have income. Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that doesn't sound hard to understand.
Right? Then we have interest and principal. This sounds some sort of debt.
It sounds complicated.
I mean, it sounds like any type of loan.
Yeah, you got to pay that interest.
Yeah, like
right?
any type of loan. And then we have dividends and interest. And I relate that to what I've heard on TV, stocks and bonds.
Yeah, dividends is that little payout they give you, right?
Yeah.
If you're part of REI, right? REI is a store where it's like camping equipment.
Yeah.
And when you go in there, you could be a shareholder in the company. And every year they give you a dividend.
Yes.
That's how I remember it. They actually do that. They actually send you a little dividend. I get like 10 cents every year. I get to say I'm a shareholder in REI.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it, guys. That's really it. And so the question says, what are the two basic types of return? So we have types, so the ands don't work, right? But I could tell you this, it's not time,
No,
right? It's not debt or loan, right?
no,
Stocks and bonds are types of securities, right?
correct.
These are types of securities. So then it would have to be the one that I happy faced that sounded familiar.
That's it.
And that's it because we're talking about return. Okay. And that's it. So what we're going to talk about.
If you think about it, that's the most basic thing about investments, right? You get gains and the income. You always hear that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Because guys, think about this. So we buy stocks. We buy stocks specifically because we want to buy low
Sell high.
and sell high, right? Now, this whole idea of selling high, that is called appreciation.
I do appreciate it when it appreciates.
It's called growth. And in tax purposes, these are called gains.
Because you gain income, you gain money, you
That
gain not income, sorry, gain
appreciation.
right
You gain value.
value. There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
There we go. We gain.
I know income's the wrong word.
Yeah. Because we buy, so we like, the idea is we buy it for 10, we sell it for 100, we have a gain of 90,
Yeah,
right?
I love easy math.
Yeah, that's fine. That one. Easy, right? So that is one type of return. Oh, what's my portfolio valued at? What's my stock valued at? Right? The other type of return is what we call our income, right? Our income. Now, our income is in the form of dividends, which Andy said, it's that REI stock, which is if you own stock or mutual funds.
Let me tell you, if bubblegum still costs 10 cents a piece, I'd be rich.
Right. Right. And then we have interest. And this is if we buy bonds. Okay. Now, this is income. Now, this income can be like given to us in cash, get that 10 cents a year in check, that check for 10 cents a year, or it could be given to us as a reinvestment. So instead of us getting a check, what we're doing is we're just turning that back into more investing. So reinvestment means it's going to buy more. So it's like, what's the best way to describe it? Where it's like, just put it back in. When you're on a slot machine
Mm,
and
yeah, you get that
hit
payout.
you get the payout and you're like, well, I could either cash out or I could just keep hitting that button.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's like you just keep hitting that button.
That's why when Andy wins, he just gets in his car and drives back to California.
Yeah, so there you go.
Wow.
So this would be like you cash out on a slot machine, or this would be like you just hit the button.
That's why they offer free dinners. That's why they offer free tickets to shows and a hotel stay. You know why?
Why?
Because they want you to reinvest in that slot machine again until they get all that money back.
Exactly. Exactly, right? So this is our most common types of return. I sold high or I got income. Now, guys, you're going to see stuff on your tests, multiple tests, like the gain thing, right? So, it has to be realized, right? It has to be realized, which means a sell took place.
That means realized means at like I said I had something worth $100, right?
Yeah.
I sold it for 120. Would that be 100? That would be realized gain.
Anything that you sold. So like anybody could sit on an investment or like let's say a house and say, "Oh, my grandfather bought this house for $10,000 back in 1922. And today it's worth $1 million. I'm rich." No, you're not rich unless you actually sold that house.
Right. If it didn't happen, it's not realized.
It just means that you appreciated in value, but it doesn't mean that you actually sold. So realized means a sell took place, which means
Because you might think it's worth $1 million, but in reality, somebody only paid you 20,000.
right.
And guess what the realized gain is?
Exactly. Right? So this is how you figured out your gain or loss. Okay. You always, it's not high number minus low number, you know how, because that's easy math, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's always what you sold it for minus what you purchased it for, or your buy price, right? So your sold price minus your buy price. It's always that order. Okay. Now, if it's a positive number, you got to gain. Woohoo! If it's a negative number, that means there was a loss.
I mean, this seems simple.
It seems so simple, but trust me when I say, guys, those quiz questions can totally throw you.
And the exam questions will totally throw you because they don't make it that clear cut.
Correct. And now, guys, just a quick little thing. If it was a short term, which means you held it for 1 year or less.
On the exam,
Yeah.
is this how it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they don't make you decide like, oh, it's 5 years short term.
Correct. Short term is always 1 year or less. That's going to be taxed as your ordinary income rate, which is basically your tax bracket.
So anything under a year, that's a short term relationship.
Right. You bought it on January 4th, 2024. You sold it on January 4th, 2025.
You might not, if it was a relationship, you might not even know their favorite color at that point.
Might not. Now, a long term means longer than a year. Literally, it could be you bought it January 4th, 2024. You sold it January 5th, 2025. Okay. So longer than a year. This is what we call a favorable rate. Some say favorable, some say capital gain rate.
Is it favorable because you're going to be in it for a minute?
It's favorable because it is way less. It's way less. Most people pay under 15% on their favorable rate. Some people, and like if you're, Elon Musk, you're paying 22%, which is way less than what you would pay if at your ordinary income. Okay. Now, the one thing about the loss is that you guys got to know this, and I have seen this, that it's definitely in a bunch of quiz questions. So that means it may be showing up. I don't know what test, but I am seeing it in more and more quiz questions, is that you can claim up to $3,000 a year, and you can carry over for 5 years. So I'll give you an example because that was a lot of numbers, right?
Yeah, please, because my mind can't wrap my head around it. You know what I mean?
So let's say,
Or the other way around.
yeah. So let's say in 2023,
Like I can't even talk right.
right? So let's say in 2023, you lost $10,000 total of all of your gains, all of your losses, of all of your stock
Everything that's in the portfolio.
At the end of the day, you came out with a $10,000 loss.
Bummer.
Right? So that means your 2023 taxes, you can claim 3,000.
So you're allowed to say 3,000 of that is what?
3,000
Okay.
of losses. In 2024, you can claim the other 3,000. In 2025, you can claim the other 3,000. And in 2026, you can claim the last 1,000. And that is a total of 10K. That's what we mean by carrying over your loss up to 5 years.
Got it.
Okay.
Only 3,000 though.
Only 3,000 a year, and you can carry it over for up to 5 years, and it offsets your gains.
Why is that important?
It's important because if you guys remember back in 2021 when people were selling their GameStop stock that they held for less than 2 years, that they held for less than a year, and they were selling it for like 400% more than what they bought it for, they would have a short-term gain. Well, if through the rest of the year they had a loss, they could offset. Basically, I gained $300, I lost $200, I only get to pay gains on 100. It just offsets each other. It like
Washes it out.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
And that helps out on taxes, right?
Yes. And then your income is always taxed as ordinary income. So your dividends and your interest is ordinary income.
So on the exam,
Yes.
that's how it is figured out.
Yes.
Income is equals ordinary income. What's the easier way to remember ordinary income as?
It's your tax bracket. Ordinary income, your tax bracket. That's it. Okay. Now the last thing I wanted to leave you guys with.
They make it difficult on the exam to
No.
figure out ordinary income when you worry about
It's
that.
called ordinary income because your tax bracket can fluctuate annually.
Got it.
Depends on so many different factors. Are you single? Are you married? Did you file jointly? Did you file head of household? Did you file married separate?
Do you have kids?
Do you have kids? Do you not? Well, yeah. So everything kind of depends on whatever happened that year.
Do you have a profitable business?
Tax bracket. So your tax bracket can fluctuate. So we just call it ordinary income.
Did you go long on GameStop when you should have gone short?
Right. So guys, total return is that one thing that it could be super confusing. So just you take that word total and you got to go back up to this question, right? What are the two types of returns? Gains and income. So what would be your total return, guys? Your gains plus your income. Do you guys get that?
Yes.
Your total return, gains plus your income. And all you guys do is you divide it by your original price.
Income being any money coming in.
Yep. Your dividends and your stock.
With your job?
I'm sorry. No, your dividends and your interest.
So we're not considering like a job or anything.
No, because your total return is on your investments.
Got that? Yeah, I had to put that in.
Yes. On your investment. And that's it. And a lot of times, guys, we forget that total means gains and income. Total gains and income. There is a famous Kaplan question that gets posted about once a month. And this is why. Because you miss that the question says total income. So guys, pay attention. What was your appreciation? What was your income? Or what is your total? Those are the three different ways that they can ask you questions, and they'll give you numbers for all of it.
So they'll say, what's your appreciation?
What would be your client bought it for this much, sold it for that much, had this much of dividends? What would be your tax consequence on the gain? That would be one question. The next question would be, your client bought it for this, sold it for that. Here was their dividends. What would be their tax consequence on the income derived from their investment? Another question would be, you bought it for this, you sold it for this, you got this much dividends. What would be your total return? So you guys see, they'll give you everything, and it's up to you to make sure you're paying attention to the question. What are they asking you?
What pieces do they want you to fill in?
Exactly.
Do they want to know the gain? Do they want to know the loss? Do they want to know the total? That's where paying attention to what the question's saying helps out.
Yes.
And that's why we always look at answers first.
Exactly.
Why do we look at answers first? Because it gives us a nice way of reading those questions with intent. We know where to go.
Yes.
We know what the connection is already.
Yep.
And that's how it happens.
Yep.
All right, everybody. I told you you're going to learn something tonight. I told you we're going to give you some free content. And if you want to learn more of this stuff broken down just like that, we got all those amazing course videos. We got those amazing all exam questions and answer sessions and test taking technique sessions. We have all that available for members. And I promise you, it's less Andy and less talking. It's all Brandy, all teaching. So if you're like, I want more of that and less of that, there you go. Join in all the paid program. Get onto that. We appreciate all of you being here. We appreciate all of you making the decision and the choice to be on tonight, to get this little bit of 30 minutes of study, learn a little something, stay consistent, get after it, don't stop, stay committed, and make it happen. That's all I say. Whatever you got to do, make it happen. Look it, you don't want to be, this is what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to be on December 2024 and looking back and going, what could I have gotten done if I would have just stayed consistent?
Exactly.
That is where you don't want to be. So just be consistent. in whatever it is you're doing this year.
Yep.
All right, everybody. We got a live session tomorrow. We'll be back for the Studying Brew. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then, everybody stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't touch your friend's face. That's all I know. And keep that positive mental attitude. PMA, everybody. Have a great night.
Guys, thank you so much for being on. We super appreciate you. Practice those keywords in your next quiz. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one.